A young executive once entered a private meeting room in London expecting to dominate the negotiation. His resume was flawless. Elite education, impressive titles, expensive watch, perfectly rehearsed language, the kind of man modern society teaches you to admire instantly. Then another man walked into the room. No dramatic entrance, no loud voice, no performance, just silence. And within 3 minutes, the hierarchy of the room changed completely. Nobody announced it, nobody voted on it, but every person present felt it happen. Attention shifted toward the quieter man automatically. People adjusted their posture when he spoke. Interruptions disappeared. Even the aggressive personalities became more measured around him. The younger executive lost the negotiation before the first offer was even discussed. Not because he lacked intelligence, because he lacked presence. And presence is one of the most misunderstood forms of power in modern society. Most people believe respect is earned through status, money, physical appearance, or dominance. But real psychological authority operates on a deeper frequency. Human beings constantly scan each other for signals of emotional stability, internal certainty, and behavioral control. Long before words matter, the nervous system is already making judgments. That is the secret almost nobody understands. People do not merely listen to your words, they feel your nervous system. This is why some individuals walk into a room and unconsciously command respect before speaking. Their energy communicates safety, discipline, and control, not aggression. Not arrogance, control. And there is one specific behavior that silently determines whether people perceive you as emotionally powerful or emotionally fragile. Most people never notice it, but once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Watch nervous people carefully. They move constantly. They adjust their sleeves unnecessarily, tap their fingers, shift their posture repeatedly, over-explain, overreact. Their body leaks internal uncertainty through endless unconscious motion. The human brain interprets this movement as instability. Calm predators in nature move carefully. Nervous prey moves constantly. Human psychology still follows ancient biological laws. This is where the Stillness Matrix begins. Stillness is not laziness. It is controlled energy. The ability to remain physically composed under pressure sends a powerful signal to the nervous systems around you. It communicates that your mind is not overwhelmed by the environment. Most people are unable to do this. Modern society has trained human beings into overstimulation. Endless scrolling, endless reacting, endless emotional movement. Attention spans collapse. Emotional control weakens. And because of that, true calmness has become rare. Rarity creates psychological gravity. Notice something fascinating. Powerful leaders rarely rush physically. They rarely panic publicly. Even under pressure, their movements remain economical. This does not happen accidentally. The body always reveals the condition of the mind. A disciplined mind produces disciplined movement. Now, here is where things become dangerous. Predatory personalities understand insecurity instantly. Manipulators, narcissists, aggressive competitors, and emotionally unstable people scan for weakness constantly, not consciously. Biologically, they look for approval-seeking behavior, nervous laughter, excessive talking, weak boundaries, and emotional reactivity. Why? Because reactive people are easier to pressure. The moment someone realizes they can emotionally move you, they gain leverage over you. That is why emotional control is not just confidence, it is protection. Most people lose respect the moment they begin trying too hard to gain it. Desperation destroys authority. Neediness weakens perception. The harder someone chases validation, the more their nervous system communicates insecurity beneath the performance. And human beings detect emotional contradiction instinctively. This is why the loudest man in the room often holds the least real authority. Real authority rarely announces itself. It radiates through composure. Now consider eye contact. Most people misunderstand eye contact completely. They believe dominance means staring aggressively or forcing intensity unnaturally. But true presence has nothing to do with intimidation. The tactical stare is calm, grounded, and emotionally clean. Not invasive, not hostile, steady. There is enormous psychological power in maintaining relaxed eye contact without emotional tension. It communicates comfort with yourself, comfort with silence, comfort with pressure. Weak eye contact often reveals internal fragmentation. The mind becomes occupied with fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of social tension. But calm eye contact sends a different signal entirely. It says, I am present, I am aware, and I do not fear this. Interaction. That changes social dynamics immediately. People trust composed nervous systems more than unstable ones. Even children instinctively feel safer around emotionally grounded individuals. Stability creates authority naturally. Now here's the paradox. The most respected people are often the least interested in controlling others. Because true confidence does not need domination. Insecure people attempt to control environments aggressively because they fear losing status. But disciplined individuals understand something deeper. Respect cannot be forced psychologically. It must emerge naturally from consistency, boundaries, and emotional self-control. And this leads to one of the most powerful principles of human behavior. The person most willing to walk away holds the greatest leverage. Modern society trains people to cling desperately to opportunities, to approval, to relationships, to social acceptance. But desperation destroys negotiation power in every area of life. When someone fears losing the interaction, they become controllable. This is why emotional independence changes everything. The power of refusal is not about arrogance. It is about standards. A disciplined person does not tolerate disrespect, simply to avoid discomfort. They do not beg for inclusion. They do not betray their principles. Strangely, the moment people realize you are prepared to walk away calmly, your value often increases immediately, because boundaries create respect. Weak boundaries invite pressure. Strong boundaries create psychological clarity. Now remember the mystery technique I mentioned earlier. Silently determines whether people perceive strength or weakness within seconds. Here it is. Most people unconsciously seek permission from the room before expressing themselves. Watch carefully, and you will see it everywhere. People laugh too quickly to gain acceptance, speak too fast to avoid interruption, agree too easily to avoid tension. Their nervous systems constantly ask, am I safe here? Am I accepted here? But psychologically powerful individuals reverse the dynamic completely. They do not seek emotional permission from the environment. They bring emotional certainty into the environment. That is the shift. And once you understand it, social interactions begin looking completely different. You stop focusing on performance. You start focusing on nervous system discipline. Because alpha presence is not built through tricks. It is built through regulation, slow breathing, controlled movement, clear boundaries, grounded eye contact, measured speech, calm silence. These behaviors communicate internal order, and internal order affects people more deeply than appearance ever will. This is why some physically unimpressive men command enormous respect, while some highly attractive individuals constantly struggle for validation. Human beings respond more powerfully to emotional certainty than surface-level performance. Certainty feels safe. Certainty feels strong. Certainty stabilizes groups during uncertainty. That is why true leaders remain composed during chaos. Panic spreads socially, but calmness spreads socially too. A disciplined nervous system can stabilize an entire room. Now understand something critically important. Presence is not about becoming emotionally cold. It is not about suppressing humanity. It is about mastering reactivity. There is a massive difference. Cold people disconnect emotionally because they fear vulnerability. Disciplined people remain emotionally balanced because they understand responsibility. And responsibility changes posture. A responsible man protects his family emotionally, protects his principles emotionally, protects his peace emotionally. He cannot afford emotional chaos because too many things depend on his stability. That is real strength, not intimidation, not aggression, reliability. The world today is filled with performative masculinity, loudness disguised as confidence, arrogance disguised as leadership, emotional impulsiveness disguised as authenticity, but true presence has always been quieter, more disciplined, more controlled, and strangely, more compassionate. Because individuals who master themselves rarely feel the need to dominate others unnecessarily. They do not need constant validation because their identity is internally anchored. They do not crumble under criticism because their self-worth is not outsourced to strangers. They do not panic under pressure because they train themselves to remain grounded during discomfort. And training is exactly what this is. No human being is born with complete presence. It is built deliberately. Every moment you resist emotional overreaction, presence grows. Every moment you maintain composure under pressure, presence grows. Every moment you protect your standards calmly instead of emotionally exploding, presence grows. People think confidence appears suddenly one day. It does not. Confidence is accumulated evidence that you can trust yourself under pressure. And once your nervous system truly believes that, your entire social presence changes automatically. Your voice slows naturally. Your movements become cleaner. Your eye contact stabilizes. Your reactions become intentional instead of impulsive. And people feel it immediately. Not because you demanded respect, because your behavior quietly demonstrated self-respect first. That is the final truth. The psychology of alpha presence has nothing to do with overpowering others. It begins with mastering yourself so deeply that fear no longer controls your behavior. And in a world addicted to noise, emotional instability, and constant validation, that level of discipline becomes extraordinarily rare. Rare enough to command respect instantly without ever asking for it.